Yo Nemi gang, it's your boy Nemi here, and today we're talking about the identity of Tekken 8. Is Tekken losing its identity? Clive Rosefield is finally here, and there's been a lot of discussion on this character, of course a guest character from Final Fantasy 16. Now this has been a topic of discussion ever since Tekken 7 mostly, maybe beginning of Tekken 6, but mostly from Tekken 7, because Tekken 7 had a bunch of weird guest character choices. They had Noctis, who came with a sword, of course from Final Fantasy as well. We had Negan, who came with a bat. Akuma and Geese came with fireballs, right? So there's been a lot of topic of discussion talking about where is Tekken heading, just where is this game heading. But with Clive, for some reason, that discussion seems to have like tripled, honestly. Like, it's a bit too much with Clive. And the question begs, just why exactly is this the case? So let's start from the beginning. Tekken has always known to be a game focused mainly on martial arts. It's been heavily inspired by martial arts characters such as Bruce Lee, who is the law equivalent, Jackie Chan, who is the lay equivalent, Blade, the Raven equivalent, and so on and so forth. But there are some characters who've not followed these rules. Characters like Yoshimitsu has been in the game for a long time. He's an original character, and this character has always wielded a sword. Of course, he does have that no sword stance, but he's always wielded a sword. So it's safe to say that Tekken hasn't really followed this rule all throughout the game. So let's talk more about Yoshi. Yoshi has always kind of been the oddball of Tekken since the first game. All these weird unblockable attacks with his sword, weird, healing, spinning around, stabbing himself, senpaku. So he's always been like the oddball of the game, and I think almost everyone has been okay with this because this is what has made the character one of the most iconic characters in Tekken. Like, honestly, you would say Yoshi is a face of Tekken, and no one would argue with that. He is a very, very popular and iconic character. So people have kind of been okay with Yoshi holding a sword throughout Tekken, or at least to my knowledge. But the same can be said about a character like Victor, for example. So Victor is a newly introduced character in Tekken 8. If Victor was in Tekken for the next 10 years, I don't think he would be as iconic as Yoshimitsu. Like, that's a bold claim, but I think it doesn't really give the same aura that Yoshi has. It's just very different personality-wise as well, his design-wise as well. So I don't think people would be as accepting of Victor as they have been with Yoshi. Victor literally comes with a gun, bro. This man has a Glock. It's supposed to be like the king of Iron Fist, but Victor said, nah, bro, I'm good. He pulled out the Glock 9, bro. He has a gun, he has akimbo blades, and he has a sword, bro. He teleports all over the place. So Victor is another character who's also come and disrespected the rules, which is just crazy to say. We also have Raven. Now Raven isn't really as bad. Of course, he's based off of ninjutsu, which is, kind of a martial art with the fantasy of being a ninja, teleporting all over the place and all that. So it's not really as bad with Raven because he doesn't really have like projectiles or weapons. He does have blades on his back, but he actually doesn't use those blades, which is very weird, right? Considering most characters are now using their weapons, like Lo with the nunchuck, Nina with her guns, So Raven isn't really as bad. We had Alisa introduced back in Tekken 6. She came with chainsaws. She also does not follow the rules of being, the Iron Fist or a martial art character. And this is where like people started complaining about Tekken 8. Like, she came with chainsaws, bro, freaking chainsaws. And also going back to Tekken 7, now of course most of these were guest characters, right? Noctis, Negan, Akuma and Geese, fireballs and swords. Yes, there are guest characters, but the decision making of Bandai Namco is where this doesn't really make all that sense. Like, why choose these specific characters? And we're seeing the same pattern in Tekken 8 with the introduction of Clive, right? Like, why choose these particular characters over so many other characters that are martial art focused? Characters like Yakuza, characters like Baki, Hanma. People have made requests for such characters, but Namco just doesn't seem to bite, and they have their own plan, it seems. So like, is this on purpose? Do they have a vision for where the game is heading, right? It's very questionable because most of the characters seem to get this trailer. We talked about how Lo is now using nunchucks, Nina can now use her guns. So is this going to be a thing going forward? If we have a Tekken 9, are we going to see characters use more weapons, right? Like, it's a scary thought. Most of the people that are scared are the OG people. If you think about the OGs of the game, and you think of the TMMs, like the Kiwis, the King Jays, Most people that started playing Tekken a long time ago, since like Tekken 3, Tekken 5, these are the people that are mostly complaining about the direction of where the game is heading. And most of the people that are new to the game, maybe like Tekken 7, most people came in T7, right? Tekken 7 and up, these guys are very comfortable with these characters. Characters using weapons, coming with like so much abilities and teleporting and all that jazz. A lot of recent people seem to be okay with this. So why is this so extra with Clive? Like Clive seems to be like the epiphany or like the epitome or the peak of these, non-Tekken introduced characters to the game. But why is that the case? I think it's pretty obvious. Like Clive has so many VFX to his moves. He's just like, this is very Soul Calibur-esque. He looks like a heavy Soul Calibur character, bro. Like it wasn't as bad as Noctis. Noctis just had the basic stuff compared to what Clive has. There's so many effects, so many fire abilities, so many teleports, right? Lights and shit, ice. It's like Noctis on drugs, basically. So this is why people are like super worried. It's like, dude, what's going on with my game? Like, what the hell is happening with Tekken? And honestly, I'm at that point as well. Now, if you want my opinion on what I think about this, like I said in my previous video, I have accepted it. From the DLC characters we got back in Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, I think I've accepted it. Like, this can happen now. When I saw Clive, I knew like, okay. Like I wasn't surprised, like, dude, they're doing Noctis again. I just accepted it because I knew like it was an expectation, like they would do something like this because they've done it before and it worked. So why fix what's not broken, right? So yeah, I have accepted it, but that doesn't mean I like it. I don't. Honestly, I haven't even gotten Clive yet. If you guys have noticed, I haven't even gotten Season 1, the DLC Season Pass. So for me, I am not a huge fan of this. I am kind of worried, low-key. I am not as enthusiastic anymore to get on Tekken. I haven't played ranked since I reached God of Destruction with my last character, which was Laz. Have I reached God of the Destruction with Laz yet? No, it was Leroy. I haven't really touched ranked since then. I haven't played Tekken since the Path of Exile 2 launched on December 6th. That's just how bad it is for me with this game. But that doesn't mean I don't like the game. Like, it's Tekken. I can't not stop liking Tekken. Like, that's not possible. I just don't like these kinds of characters in the game. That includes Noctis, that includes Geese, that includes Akuma, Negan. The weapon characters, I'm not a huge fan of that. Victor, right? Tekken can introduce some banger martial arts characters, bro. They introduced Leroy in Tekken 7. Despite all the controversy, Leroy was such an OG character. Unique character design, Wing Chun, he was fire. They introduced Fakumram. Despite all the controversy, the character design, he felt very good to play, right? Muay Thai, raw Muay Thai, he felt very impactful. His animations were amazing, beautiful animations. They brought Reina in Tekken 8, another bang-ass character, bro. Like, these guys can cook original Tekken characters, right? Pure martial art, no weapons, no bullshit. Their decisions to introduce these weapon characters, for me, is just very weird. Like, there was no reason to introduce Victor in Tekken. Like, there was no reason, bro, at all. But they chose to do it, right? I think they're trying to just get everyone used to the fact that Tekken is not what it used to be anymore. Tekken is not purely a martial art game now, based on the fist, right? The Iron Fist. We can now just pull out gloves from our ass. We can now pull out swords, buster swords, magic abilities. Everything goes in this game as of now. I have accepted it, and you have to accept it as well. As much as we love this game, it is what it is. About Clive, seeing his matches, seeing his gameplay, it just looks weird. He feels very alien, bro. Even so, worse than Noctis and Victor. He feels like very weird. Honestly, Akuma and Geese actually fit more in Tekken than Clive does, in my opinion. Akuma was a menace. Geese was a menace as well. Like, outside of fireballs, jumping, and dick jab combos, if those characters were designed differently, they would have been perfect for Tekken, bro. But with Clive, it just feels weird. Like, I'm sorry to hate, it's just my opinion. It just feels weird. It looks like Soul Calibur, like Soul Calibur 8. The game is still amazing. I'm sure it's doing well for them to keep going. Season 2 has been announced. Maybe we'll get more original characters in Season 2. Maybe we'll get a guest character that's just pure martial art, or maybe, so it's not over. It's just something that scares me. Something I thought I would talk about. But all in all, people seem to be happy with the character. A lot of Final Fantasy fans seem to be happy, so kudos to you guys. So how do you guys feel about Clive? Do you think that's unnecessary hate? Do you think this is a normal thing for the game? Does it really matter if the character is not martial art focused mainly on fists. Let me know, guys. Let's talk about this, because this is like a serious discussion. There's a lot of negativity in the community, there's a lot of divide in the community, but again, it's Tekken, it brings us all together, so it is what it is. I want to apologize for my content, guys. It slowed down a bit. This is because, again, of Path of Exile. So the game is insanely addictive, so I'm spending a lot of time playing that game. I apologize, but I'll get in track soon, so don't you worry. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and as usual, may the frame data be ever in your favor. GG, name again.